שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב בבית, שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבט
Start. It's 7 o'clock. Let's start. I don't know when I'm supposed to start, so you just tell me.
Are you singing this one?
Sort of. I'm going to start then, and then hopefully the rest. To start now. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Biddy. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming to our community-led Shabbat. So we are going to have a number of people who have nicely volunteered to help. Any of you who want to help in the future, please let me know. Once a month, we will have a community-led Shabbat, and we are happy to have people join. So first up is candle lighting. If Ed and Judy would come up.
These Shabbat candles give light to all who hold them, so may we by our lights give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. So this is the time when it's our tradition to share our simchas. So if anyone has simchas from the past week that they would like to share, we would love to hear them. And if there's anyone who's watching online, please share them in the chat.
My 18-year-old son, who's about to go to college, took his first backpacking trip with his friends. And me, the mom, being so nervous the first night, and I said, you know what? In a month, he's going to be gone. He had an amazing time, lots of mosquito bites, but that's the fun.
Good adulting for the 18-year-olds. Sally? Nice to see Cantor with daughter and son-in-law. Nice. Cantor's son-in-law has a new job at Costco doing samples. Anyone else? Johanna?
So my daughter went to waterfront camp this week, and so she got to row because all the kids in her canoe were younger than her. And my college kid is coming tomorrow with his friends.
Well, lots of good things with Johanna's children and a full house. Did you have one? Yeah. Excellent. It's always good to have kids who are working. We were just talking about that. Okay, we're going on to L'Chadodi, which is on page 20 and 21. Cantor, would you like to join me? Not to put you on the spot, but I know I was told not to do that, but I think you'll appreciate his singing more than me singing in this, so sorry about that.
Which tune? One's got one.
L'Chadodi, Likrat Kala, Panei Shabbat, Nekabela. L'Chadodi, Likrat Kala, Panei Shabbat, Nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Yishmianu el ha'mechad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem tiferet le'hililah. L'chadodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu lilicha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mkedem nesucha, sof moseh mechjot yehilah. L'chadodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Titoriri, hitoreri, kivorech kumihuri, ori, shitaberi, Kvod Adonai, alayich ilha. L'chadodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise and face the door you came in. Number 9. Boi v'shalom, atem v'lava, gam simcha u'tzilcha, tov lemonei am segula. Boi kala, L'chadodi Shabbat Nekavela. I appreciate the help. Please stay standing.
Please join us for Shalom Aleichem.
Page 24.
Sharet Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
So we're still standing on page 28. Sorry, that was my mistake. Baruch Hu, please. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach leolam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. And you may be seated. And I'm on page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai hamamariv aravim.
We're at the top of page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me
to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malkuto, Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha V'kol lavavka uvkol nafshkecha uvkol moedecha Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anoki mitzavka hayom alavavecha V'shanitam lavanecha Vidibarta bam Veshiteka vebeteka Uvlekteka vaderek Uvshakbecha uvkumecha Ukshaktam leot hayadeka Vehayula totafot ben enecha Uktavtam al mezuzot beteka Uvishareka Laman tizkeru va'asitem el kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elehem. Ani Adonai Elohehem asher hotzetechem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohehem, Adonai Elohehem emet.
Nichonoka is on page 40.
Okay, I'm reading top of 45. We are a people in whom the past endures. In a moment, the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time.
Please rise for the Amidah on page 46. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibivor, Hadara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Haste Avot V'imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'nehem, L'tema'an Shemo B'ahava, Melech Ozeru Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Yezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Abim, Sohomef Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayen Emunato Lishenei Afar. Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Meimihi Tu Mechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanata L'chayot HaKol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah kadosh u'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom telu asela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. So, time for silent reflection, and then please sit down when you're ready. So the Amidah, or the Hatafillah, is 17 prayers, and they are almost all really just prayers of thanks, prayers thanking our forefathers, thanking for all the wonderful attributes of God. There's really only a couple things that we ask God for on Shabbat, and peace is one of them. So the end of the Amidah are the prayers for peace. So there's, let's say, Shalom, there's Shalom Rav, there's a number of them. But after we thank God, then kind of like a good parent thing, you should really say, you're a good parent, and then they ask for what they need. So the Amidah is set up that same way. It's one thing that we can ask. The second thing that we can ask for on Shabbat is prayers for other people for healing. So that is what we do after the prayers for peace, for shalom. So Shalom Rav is on page 60.
Val Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Atahu Melech Adon L'Kol HaShalom Ki Atah Melech Adon L'Kol HaShalom Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam V'tov Benechel Livarech Et Amcha Yisrael V'chol Eit V'chol Sha'ah V'shlomecha Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam.
So now, as it said, we turn to prayers for those who need healing in our congregation and in our hearts. So we are thinking as a congregation of Azrael Early, Rohan Early, Orly Sherman, Amy Thornton, Laura Armstrong, Stacy Hetzel, Diane Turner, Jacqueline Tara Smith, Deborah Rose, Eileen Kreisman, Ronnie Haber, Carlene Ackerman, Vadim Barzam, Jill Forleo, Ellen Gottlieb, Marlene Brock, Vanessa Bianco, John Lang, Jake Sani, Paul McCready, Janelle Cohen, Glenn Letts, Jesse Early, Andrea Grarovich, Joni Michaels, Haiti Neiman, Carl Wilhite, Trudy Hendrickson, Jeannie Gaston, David Seligman, Cindy Balin, Daniel Kaplan, Kathy Smith, Janine Drebin, Susan Kendall, and Susan Kendall. If there are other names you would like to add, please list them in the chat or please say them out loud. Okay, so page 253, Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. So, Tisha B'Av was yesterday. This is not a holiday that Reform Jews particularly observe. Traditionally is one of 3 fast days in the Jewish calendar. It commemorates the destruction of the temple and essentially all subsequent disasters that have afflicted the Jewish people. There's a saying or joke that most of our holidays, they tried to kill us, we survived, now let's eat. Which is a nice short statement that really does sum up our history and speaks to the resilience of the Jews. And there is truth to that. We are the oldest living religion, after all. But it misses the essence of the Jewish people and why we honor so many disasters in our past. I want to hold on to the thought of what is the essence of the Jewish people. Come back to that in a minute. Va'et Hanan is the Torah portion for this Shabbat. So this portion has Moses pleading with God to spare his life and let him enter the promised land. God does not relent, and Moses is not allowed to enter. God says to him to go up onto the summit, look all around to see the promised land, for he will not enter. This seems unnecessarily cruel of God after Moses has led the people in the desert for 40 years. Why does God not let Moses enter? Is it that it's time for a leadership change? Is it Moses too old? Is it punishment, as it implies in the portion, for Moses killing an Egyptian? I actually think there is another way of looking at this passage. God knows Moses will not be able to enter the land for whatever reason. Perhaps God is actually giving Moses a gift. How many of us can see the fruits of our labor into the future, to see the promised land all around? Rather than just plodding further along, Moses now knows his time is running short. Moses can turn to his legacy and give final advice to the people. He pivots from pleading with God to speaking to the people. He reminds them that there's only one God, and reminds the people to follow the commandments and avoid creating false idols. He also sternly warns the people that if they do create idols, they will essentially feel God's wrath and be scattered from the land. He says, "There you will serve gods of wood and stone made by human hands that cannot see or hear or eat or smell." But the part that actually speaks to me is the following sentence, where I think he gives them hope. "But if you search there, you will find the eternal your God, if only you seek with all your heart and soul. For the eternal your God is a compassionate God who will not fail you nor let you perish. God will not forget the covenant made on oath with your fathers." This to me is the hope. Even in difficult times, when we are worshiping false idols, God is still there, if we only listen and pay attention. As we remember the disasters that have befallen the Jewish people, and honestly, the difficult news that we hear each day, it helps to remember that God, in whatever form we believe, is still with us. It is sometimes a challenge to find the good and be positive, but that is our task. To me, the essence of being Jewish, and particularly Reformed Jews, is to be the light into the world, to take a sorrowful day like Tisha B'Av and turn it into action. As Jews, we know what it was like to be slaves and oppressed, so our job is to use that knowledge to help others. How do we want to make the world better? What legacy do we want to leave? That is our individual and communal task to determine. It is now time for Aleinu. Johanna, if you would join on page 283. Oh, sorry, please rise. Okay, the top of 283. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula li'oser breshit, shehu sam tachir lechem l'shamo, ve'gor aleinu l'chachuto, ve'anachnu
Kadosh Baruch Hu.
287.
V'nemar Haya Adonai Lemelech al kol haaretz Hayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad Hu Shemo echad.
Okay. Ed for Warner's Kaddish.
You can temporarily be seated. And we'll be on page 294 for the Kaddish. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This week's Yortzites: Florence Cohen, Jack Dominance, Stuart Dugason, Donald Arthur Friedman, Ernest Goldstein, Pauline Hecht, Jean Ray Hurwitz, Carl S. Miller, Norma Neiman, Joseph Patrick, Elise Potashnik, Marion Prassow, and Michael Sproul. Does anybody else have anyone to add to that list? Please rise and join those who are mourning as we recite the Kaddish. Yit Gedal v'yit Kedash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divra Hirute, B'mlik Malchute, B'chayechon uv'yimechon, uv'chaye Dekol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gulav v'zman korim v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevrak Le'olam U'mei U'mayo. Yit Barak v'yishtabak v'yit Boar v'yit Roman v'yit Naseh, v'yit Hadar v'yit Alev v'yit Talal Shemei Dekudashah Berechu. Leila min kol birkata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da miram b'almo v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu yasei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. You may be seated. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight and thank everybody who bravely participated in the community Shabbat effort. Greetings to those who are watching us on live stream. Anybody who wishes to participate in future community Shabbats, you'll be certainly most welcome to. And as you've seen by those who were brave enough to act tonight, we can sure use help. It's actually kind of fun. Certainly gives you a little more empathy for the mitzvah students coming up and doing their part and doing it at a much younger age. Coming up, we do have a number of events at the temple, starting with tomorrow morning, where there will be lay-led Torah study at 9 o'clock. At 10:30, there will be the Shabbat morning service with Rabbi Emeritus Morel. Next week, we're having our community potluck, and to be followed by the Shabbat service featuring Rabbi Nemitov and Cantor Emeritus David Serkin-Poole, who will be doing the service next Friday. On Friday, the 18th of July, no, not the 18th, it's 18th of August. Gee, yeah. Planning for next year already. But on the 18th of August, it will be the davening group team with our guest artist, Noah Aronson. There will be a barbecue. There will be the service with the davening team and Mr. Aronson. And there will be s'mores and Oneg Shabbat afterwards. So a triple header on August 18th. Be there. Thank you very much.
Yes. So that was a request for anyone who can carry a tune better than me. Think about joining the choir. They are going to be participating in the high holidays, so we are looking forward to that. Okay, so I would like to invite up the people who participated tonight. We are going to end with Od Yavo and then Kadush and Motzi. So come on up. I don't know what page it's on. Wing it. Oh, and thank you so much to Glenn for last minute stepping up and accompanying us. Much appreciated. 353 for Od Yavo. Let's start us off. Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam Salam Aleinu Ve'al Kulam Salam Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kulam Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Okay, just gonna do first. Okay. Have you guys confirmed finished back for the weekend?
Okay, it's at the top of page 5.
Okay. Top of page 5. Eloheinu melech haolam, Orei Hari Hagafen, Baruch Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Kishayu mitzvotav, v'rasam b'anu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'yahava u'ratzvo, v'yimanu, zikaron l'ma'aseh hareishim. Shabbat Shalom.
I liked your debar.
That's very good. That one very good.
Is it usually free?
I don't know. If that was the funniest thing we did, that was fine. It was less humorous than last time. We make progress. Oh, I thought it was pretty good. No, it was pretty good. It wasn't funny at all.